who we got, who's up next. So we have Leandro, you're up, man. The
I was
importance
gonna
of
say,
observability in QA. So we'll let you take it away. Don't forget the time limit. I know that we're kind of crunched on time here. So
I'm gonna set up a timer and try to hurry up.
okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this PNSQC jam. Please let me know with a nod if you can see my screen. Oh boy, all the pictures are left. So, oh yeah, I think I see it in the screen in the little pictures. Some gets funny, but yeah, again, welcome. I'm going to tell you a little and very short story about the importance of observability in modern QA practices in general, in IT, me, senior performer, around performance. But before that, quickly, just for the ones that do not know me, we're not around last PNSQC. I am Leandro Melendez, also known as Senior Performer. I am a DevRel with K6. I try to share all the knowledge around performance and best practices. I have a blog for Senior Performer. I have a YouTube channel as well. You can look for it. A podcast, Perfights Español, and a few episodes in English. And as well, I published a book about performance testing. You know, lots of performance, but today we won't be talking that much about performance. So, I want to thank everyone that is here. I'm building you an altar, PNSQC, for this awesome community, for everything that you are doing, and for everyone that attends or that is enduring this presentation with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But let's get moving. So, what is observability, right? What is this new term? Probably many of you have started hearing it lately a lot. So, let's stick to a dictionary definition, right? Observability, at least on systems in IT, because this definition applies to many other things. I'm going to give you some examples. But observability is the ability to measure a system's current state based on data that it already generates, such as logs, metrics, and traces. That's more or less the official definition. But the key here is that the system generates that information, right? We are not just expecting it to have it out of pocket or out of hand right away. Some do, but that's the key. So many do not. So QA and observability, how these two get together, right? Like little puppies playing around and finding out each other. We can get some of this QA status from internal data that is inside of our application. Some of these logs and traces and metrics will have often information that will guide us on what is the situation in terms of quality of our application. And we can generate many of those. And on one hand, just directly from the system, it is at times, well, not enough, right? So we can also generate some observability from our QA processes. These QA processes can be automations, could be even people working around the systems, and we can implement some more internally. Think of your unit test automations and configuring some of these logs and traces to work automatically and give us this information that we need for it to be observable. Because right now, many of the tools, we have to implement it in our tools and enable this observability because the test results and the status of our QA processes often end up trapped inside of this cage of the tool. We are not able to share it, observe it, or automatically be able to see it only through the tool that generates them. I'm going to give you a quick example. I love this example. Imagine a car. It has several observability items implemented on it. The most classical that has been from ages ago, as long as I have been alive and I can remember, they have had it, is to know how much gas do you have in the tank. I know it's not super precise. We would like to know it by the gallon or liter, depending on where are you watching from. But we have long ago implemented some instrumentation That is the name of enabling this observability with a floating device inside of our gasoline tank. This floating device will report with this enabling instrumentation. It's instrumented with that floating device, the gas tank. And through a little wire, we can have some telemetry. We are sending the information elsewhere to note what is the status of this thing, what is not necessarily quality, but what's the quality of my tank? Is it full? Is it draining too fast? Some of these things. So with another device, can be universal because some of these instrumentations are universal. One car can have it, the others can have it. So we can watch it with a dashboard. Since I remember digital or analogic, I remember this little thing that moved up and down, a physical arrow telling me how much gas. So for now, with our QA and automation tools, we are having to step off the car, run our automation, maybe picture the oil thing that you had to put long ago inside of your car's engine. Now we have to do it every time inside of our gas tank and check what is the quality of the tank. We have to do it kind of manually or through the tool to generate a report. And this is from the example and the advantage that you can just have it in the dashboard of your car. You can see which one is easier, right? So this situation brings some bottlenecks to all of us, like, oh my God, I cannot give you that much information because I become the bottleneck to find out what is the status, what to observe, to be able to be aware of it. We need to update everything. We need to run the automations. We need to grab the information almost manually, most of them. At times the tool will have it, but we have to generate the reports. We have to provide information. And especially in continuous, keeps coming, keeps changing. It's, you can picture the little puppy here having some situations. How many of us in the QA industry have felt like this puppy at times, like, oh my God, I have to give so much information and keep up and keep doing it just because we don't know what is the status automatically. So how can we enable this observation, this way of knowing? First, we have to enable sharing. Put this little wire that I mentioned from the gas tank and get those results. Get them from our automations, our QA systems, everything automatically, and enable them, the automations, the QA processes, and the system itself to send the information elsewhere, somewhere that we can work with it, something universal, not leave it trapped and that only the tool that has access and the license can process it and generate the report. No. Once we share it, this means that we can send all those logs, metrics, assertions for unit test, functional test results from integration, performance test metrics, everything we can send it to another database. Something very common nowadays are time-based database, metrics databases, logs, traces, all sorts of things that we can get from them and putting in a centralized state. Goodbye tool. Thank you. You did your thing. You automated our QA and was sent elsewhere. Once we have that, the next point is to have the dashboard that I mentioned, to be able to see it. Some visualizations to know the status, to have some lists of the things, a counter for how many tests have passed, failed, to see some pretty graphs, something that is easy for us to grasp and continuous, automatic, observable. And these can be, as I mentioned, on time-based tables, on continuous generated points of information, and automatically refreshed. We run our animations, it's there, easy to see. With this, as I mentioned, the dashboard, we enable and put something, we connect it to the database and create some visualization so that everyone can see what is happening. Share it with the team. It make it automatic, public, not trapped in the tool like the little two puppies that I showed earlier, so that everyone can see what is the status, what is the quality of your system. For this, I will be closing now. Change the perspective on how you think, how do you use the tools for QA for automation so that you can enable everyone to know what is the status. You can make that live so that it is running and everyone everywhere automatically can find out what is happening. And to not need for the tools, just open it. If you want to see it in this tool, if you want to see it in that other tool, whichever, it's in a universal, somewhat form, template, or accessible so that you can analyze it, view it, and do whatever you want, or integrate it. Think of CI/CDs that you can send that automatically. It's in the database, it's in your metrics repository, whatever you want to call it, and your pipeline can pick it up and know what is the status. That is also another great advantage that you can have. So this is really, really super hot. This is really something cool that you should start implementing on your QA processes. There are lots of benefits for everyone in the team, not only QA, not only developers, everyone, even the end users will get lots of benefit because you'll be able to observe production as well. Multiple advantages. So with that, I hope I didn't extend it too much. I want to thank you very much. I'm Leandro Melendez, your performer. You can find me on all the social networks except TikTok. I haven't been brave enough to get on that thing. And thank you very much for this lightning talk.
Okay, great. Vamonos. All right, let's go. So next.